Let's get to the central issue I wanted to talk with you about on the asbestos. What have you been told about what's been found and where?
Yeah, this one was quite alarming. And look, Chris, I'm still trying to unpack this one and learn a little bit more as we go. But from what I know, so we have a 48 wind turbine, what do you call it, energy factory, if you want to call it that
call
way.
it a factory, because that's what it is. They keep saying farm. Sorry, steel has never dominated a farm, so I think we should call it a factory.
Wind factory at Castle Hill Wind Farm, so Central Highlands in Tasmania. And it has become evident that the brake pads in these wind turbines asbestos in it. Now, this is quite alarming. We know asbestos has been banned, or it's been illegal to import in this country since 2003.
Yep.
But yet we have discovered that they are within these Chinese manufactured and imported and run or owned wind farms in Tasmania. But the biggest alarming thing is, as we suspect, this is going to be bigger and broader than Tasmania, because from what I know, Gold, which is the company, the Chinese company who's imported and manufactured these wind turbines, from what I understand, there's in excess of 600 of these across Australia.
600?
So whilst we know, correct. So whilst we know about Tasmania at this stage, I suspect this is going to become a very big issue with wind turbines by the same company manufacturer across Victoria and New South Wales that I've discovered so far.
So I guess all asbestos, it's actually not a danger to workers or danger to anyone using the lifts inside the wind turbines until damage is done to the turbine or a fire breaks out and all of a sudden the asbestos breaks down.
But, and that's the funny thing, Chris. So if it's not a harm, tell me, why have they restricted access to it? Why have they shut it down from their workers? Why have they now employed asbestos removalists to investigate and remove it? So if it's not a harm and if it's not a risk, why is it actually occurring?
Yeah. And it's about illegal imports as well. When we rely so much in this renewable rollout on Chinese imports, they don't put the same degree of scrutiny on their products as we would when we're manufacturing our products.
Correct. So where's the safeguarding in this? Net zero has been such a push, such a fad. Let's get it in. We're saving the environment, which is a load of bollocks to start with, because the amount of environmental damage and destroying the bush and native wildlife that these wind farms are creating in Tasmania and across Australia is devastating.
Yes.
But here we are. Now we're bringing in imports that do not comply with Australian standards, potentially, and are putting our workers and who else at risk. And it just shows the safeguards and the protocols are not in place. It's being rushed through. Why were we importing this anyway? If we were, even if we, general Australia, were behind this turbine wind farms, wouldn't you support Australian industry? Wouldn't we invest in our own future? Wouldn't we and shouldn't we be manufacturing these ourselves to ensure that we have supporting local jobs, supporting our infrastructure, supporting our own economy? This is just another example of why this rushed and why this fantasy net zero plan is failing Australia. And it's quite concerning deeply. I want to know where the Greens are. Tasmania is meant to be green, clean environment, safe environment. I want to know where they are. What are they doing about these wind farms and solar farms that are now being brought into Tasmania, a beautiful, pristine state that the locals do not want? Why? It's damaging the wildlife, and now it's damaging the health, potentially the health of workers and community. What are they doing about it? Why aren't they standing up? But instead, the only party with any common sense on this is actually One Nation. And that's why I'm standing up for Tasmanians and Australians.
Well said, because in the late 80s, Lee, who did their green duties and stood in front of bulldozers when pristine forests were being mowed down in Tasmania, in your home state. Yep. Right now, this is being mowed down in forestry land in New South Wales and Queensland, not a greenie in sight.
No, they're behind it. Yep. They back it.
Yep.
And now to add the other, saved by emissions, killed by asbestos.
Yes.
So it just keeps growing.
You're not wrong.
And
brilliantly articulate for your time once again.
Thanks, Chris. Have a good day.
Good on you. You too. Lee Hanson. I'm not going to say Pauline's daughter. You probably know that by now. She's an independent woman with her own views, and many of them align, of course, with her mother, and because she's a supporter of the One Nation movement. But boy, incredibly articulate. And the debacle that Barnaby Joyce describes the renewable rollout as just gets worse and worse by the week.